100 naira ko. Esambaseko.
Good morning, viewers. You're welcome to the program Lagos This Morning. Today being the 29th of January 2023. We'll be discussing about trending topics in Lagos State and also across the Federation. I am Olajide Taufik Olamide.
Hi, I'm Adeni Adiola. Welcome to Lagos This Morning.
All right, let's go straight into the main headlines for the day. Why Tribunal sacked Osun Governor Adeleke? Nothing should hinder 2023 election, Northern Elders Forum warns. Confusion as new Naira note shortage takes tolls on Nigerians. There are APC and PDP supporters who prefer Peter Obi, Aisha Yusuf. Nigerians are too intelligent to be suffering like this. It is evil. That is coming from actress Omotola Jalade. NRC shut down Abuja Kaduna train station. And the last one, PDP treading dangerous path, marking day. All right, let's go into the details. Governor Ademola Adeleke-led administration in Osun State came to a halting halt on Friday as the Osun Election Petitions Tribunal sacked him from office. His stay in office lasted a mere 62 days. While annulling the July 16 Osun governorship poll results, the tribunal held that the Independent National Electoral Commission did not comply with the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as well as the Electoral Act as amended. Yeah. Adeleke was sacked yesterday. They said there was overvoting, according to what they said.
If there was overvoting,
yeah,
it wasn't Adeleke that counted the votes or that was in charge of the beavers and stuff like that. It was the INEC.
Yeah.
I think the INEC should be faulted. So why is Adeleke why is he being sacked?
I think it's just been sacked because after deducting all the additional votes, they realized that Oyetola had more votes than Adeleke.
And how sure are they that stuff is overvoting? I think something is fishy. Because why is it why was it not detected?
Before they announced the results.
Before they announced the results.
I don't know. Maybe that is incompetence from INEC side, as well. So I actually think before they would sack Adeleke, what would they do to the INEC staffs there that were present at those polling units that overvoting occurred? Then they should all be brought to book. They should be brought to book because it's just like beating someone because of another person's crime. If they didn't allow overvoting, because even when I saw the post, I saw different comments online and the likes, some APC fans and PDP fans, tackling themselves. But I was looking further, how can you just remove Adeleke because of INEC's mistake? Those presiding officers, overvoting can't occur without the presiding officer being biased. Because the total votes cast, when they actually announce it, when you want to impute it inside the system, it has to be the same thing. And they can never change that number without the consent of the presiding officer. Then the presiding officers in all the polling units, then they should be arrested. So what will happen to them? They are yet to be arrested now. And I actually think Adeleke will reclaim his mandate.
Of course.
Because he will still go to the appeal court. And the appeal court is higher than the tribunal. So he will surely win. Because he will go there and he might even sue INEC. That why did they allow that overvoting there? Those people that were there, the presiding officers, if they didn't probably get induced from either the APC or the PDP or someone else, they wouldn't allow it. So I think looking beyond Adeleke and the likes, and when it comes to this forthcoming presidential election in February 25, I think this one is a big lesson for everyone.
Yeah.
Because even if they would actually deduct all the added votes, then I actually saw something yesterday. I think I screenshotted it in the Electoral Act. Yes, Electoral Act. Yeah, it is here. Section 51 is talking about votes over voting. It said, Section 51, subsection 1, no voter shall vote for more than one candidate or record more than one vote in favor of any candidate at any election. Subsection 2 said, where the number of votes cast at an election in any polling unit exceed the number of accredited voters in that polling unit, the presiding officer shall cancel the result of the election in that polling unit. Why didn't the presiding officer cancel the election there before announcing the result? Then they should be brought to book. Those presiding officers in the polling units that the overvoting occurred, they should be brought to book, because without them, overvoting can never happen. If they impute the total vote cast, what was being written down, if they impute it into the machine, then there won't be overvoting. And the third one said, where the result of an election is cancelled in accordance with Section 2, which is talking about the overvoting, there shall be no return for the election until another poll has taken place in that affected polling unit. Then that means they'll do rerun in those polling units that had overvoting. So why didn't they do rerun? Yes, of course. That is a fault of INEC, the staffs in those polling units.
That means they did something.
Of course, now.
Fishy.
Then how do they want us to trust the INEC for this forthcoming election? It's just as if someone will actually, induce those presiding officers to inflate the numbers anywhere in the stronghold of the opposition party. So by the time they finish the election, they go to tribunal and say, okay, they had overvoting here, you cancel it. How can you just cancel out the votes like that? It is nonsensical. You can't cancel it out. It's either you conduct another election in that place. There's budget for election now. Come on, it's not as if the INEC would put their own personal money there. There's money. They should do another election there, not just, trying to play games, because if it continues like this, then there's no point in having elections, because if they can actually inflate numbers in some polling units, then they drag them to court, maybe tribunal or something, and say, okay, there's overvoting here. Okay, let's imagine that Atiku has a certain amount of votes in some part of northern state, and then someone else from another party actually induced the presiding officers there to inflate the numbers. Then after let me just say, just imagine that Atiku wins. Then other candidate drags him to court. Maybe Tinubu or Peter Obi drags him to court. And after you've induced those people there, you now call them out like, okay, there's overvoting in this place. Then they annul they now cancel the person's vote there. Then they declare you as the winner. What's the meaning of that? Then I think we are not even ready at all. We are not ready for election. If we continue like this, there's no point at all. So you can drop your comment. What do you feel about Adeleke being sacked as Osun State governor? What do you think? What's the position of the INEC? This overvoting, I don't think it's the fault of Adeleke, because he's not the INEC chairman, he's not the presiding officer. He's just a voter. He just had just one vote. So, and it's just a governorship aspirant as well. So whose fault is it, and what would be happening next? What do you think? You can drop your comment. On the next one, nothing should hinder 2023 election, Northern Elders Forum warns. The Northern Elders Forum has warned against any plan by unscrupulous element or group to distort the conduct of a free, fair and credible 2023 election. In a statement signed by Director of Publicity and Advocacy, Dr. Akeem Baba Ahmed, the elders said that there are unhealthy murmurs which hint at the possibility that the election may not hold, and some kind of unconstitutional contraption may be forced on Nigerians after May this year. The Northern Elders Forum therefore warned those who peddle those dangerous rumors, point to the near-desperate circumstances under which Nigerians live. I don't think anything can actually hinder this forthcoming election.
Nothing can hinder the election. But the APC actually believes the new Naira notes will hinder their chance of winning the election.
Of winning, and the first scarcity as well.
And the first scarcity, because I don't know how fuel has got to do with
election.
Are
they INEC that would be bringing the logistics or something? They're not. You're just a voter. Just go out there and cast a vote. Then.
So I don't think there's anything that is going to hinder the election. That's it.
What about the southeast? So there are some people there, and also there are some people as well in the southwest from the Yoruba Nation agitators, and also the Biafra Nation that are saying that they don't want the election to take place? Do you think they can actually, bring a kind of upset to the election?
I don't think so.
Well, I just...
Because this woman has said...
Which woman?
That's Bianca Ojukwu.
Yeah.
She said, like, she prays that the next person that will be the president will do the bid, is going to do the bidding of the agitators.
Yeah.
So I think the election will be fair.
And I also think people who want the election are much more than those who don't want it.
Yeah.
So they will actually outnumber them, and they won't have any choice than to just...
And the person they think is going to cause probably some rookers, is it rookers or rookers, during the election is Nnamdi Kanu. And I think that's why he's still in detention.
That's why they didn't release him.
Because they feel once he's out, it's people.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. Confusion as new Naira note shortage takes tolls on Nigerians. As the January 31 deadline to phase out old Naira note inches closer, the new banknote shortage across the country takes its toll on Nigerians. The heat continues to mount as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, threatens to issue an arrest warrant on CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele over his refusal to honor the House Committee's invitation. Commercial banks on Thursday were forced to shut down their ATMs over a shortage of the new banknotes in major cities. Deposit money banks have been battling a shortage of old banknotes amid a directive by the CBN that lenders should load only their ATMs with the new note. There's a shortage of new notes out there.
Of course.
There are no new notes in the ATM.
They will still give you the old Naira notes. And they said it is till 31st of January.
Yeah.
And today is what, 28th?
Yeah. Today is, 28th.
Today is 20. We have just 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just 3 days.
30, just 3
and
days.
we still have lots of the old Naira notes outside there. You even still go to the ATM to go and withdraw. It will still dispense the old Naira notes. Well,
there are reports.
And CBN said the money is out already. But out to where?
I think there are reports that I saw a report in this northern state. Was this Zamfara or Kaduna? There are all these money hawkers at car parks, exchanging money with people, old note and the new note as well. And also in big parties, there are reports that
Money
there are people there with the new note, like it is not small, in bulk. How did these people get hold of the new note when the average person on the street can't even have it? And the CBN governor has said that this money is out already. Just like someone contributed to the web watch yesterday, I think there should be a breakdown of this money. Like so trillion has been sent to this particular state. Lagos State has this amount of money as the new note. Then the people will be able to know that, okay, the people that have withdrawn so far so good, have they been able to withdraw up to that kind of amount of money? Okay, let's just have the breakdown. In the 36th state of the federation, so amount has been sent down to this state, so amount to this state. Let's just have the breakdown. As in, you should just post it on the social media and let everybody see. But it's just like audio, what would I say? Is it audio money or something?
Audio dispensation.
You just come outside to say, okay, we have actually dispensed the money, we've given it out to banks. Then the banks are saying that they don't have this money. And CBN actually came out some other day to say that they have the money, but banks refuse to come and take it. How would bank refuse to come and take what their customer wants? Is it even possible at all? So it's just as if maybe the CBN is just trying to play hanky-panky games or something. Because when you are not accountable, you can't come out to your people and say, okay, this is the breakdown of how we have shared the money to the state so far. I said something yesterday that this new note is not out yet now. We've not been seeing it out. But it is in the hands of the elite. Because this money is out already. They said they used trillions to print the money. So where did they keep the money? And CBN governor said the money is out. And we are seeing it in parties. Not ordinary parties like naming ceremonies or wedding. VIP parties. VIPs. And who are these VIPs? They are linked to the elite. So where would they get it from? The elite will get it from the CBN. So I think even the idea of, okay, there won't be votes buying, I think it's just a dead idea. It's just like a movie.
The elite has the money.
They have the money already. And by the time the election comes in, by February 25 or before February 25, the fact that people don't have this new note, like the cash, they don't have much of it, there is scarcity already. So by the time they bring this money in, people won't be able to resist it. Majority of people will not be able to resist it because they need the cash. So they'll be able to buy people's vote. So what are we talking about? So it's just like the game has just been, you see, it's just like a game plan. They've planned it very well and they are executing it now. Because why would you actually say that January 31st, the old note will cease to be a legal tender? Then we don't have the new note out there.
Exactly.
We don't have it. I think it's either they shift the date, probably by 2-3 weeks, or something else might happen. Because by, let's say, February 1st, you go to the ATM, there's no money in the ATM, and you've deposited all your old notes in the bank. Would you do transfer to pepper sellers? Or would you do transfer to bike men?
Or
bus conductors in Oshodi? Or Agege? And they won't, give you another kind of face. It's just something else. It's something else. All right. There are PDP and APC supporters who prefer Peter Obi, Aisha Yusuf. As a civic rights activist, Yusuf support for any government, according to her, is usually based on competence with good governance as the end result. This explains her involvement in the Obidati campaign train. Her choice of candidate, she noted, is based on the fact that she wants someone in office who will not allow those that will use tear gas on us when we go out to protest. And so for her, of all the presidential candidates contesting in this year's election, Peter Obi is the most competent of all other ones, she said, stressing that if Obi wasn't, he would not be in his camp. Yeah.
There are many APC members and PDP. Like,
they are supporting Peter Obi.
They are supporting Peter Obi, but it is not obvious.
Yeah, they can't come out openly to say it.
Because probably there will be sanction or something like that, but they are fully in support of Peter Obi. It's the truth.
So that means the kind of support that Peter Obi has gathered, like physically and publicly so far, then that means he has more support, more people behind the scene, that they can't just come outside to, pledge their support for Peter Obi. Just saying that people working for the government, the civil servant, if any one of them is supporting Peter Obi, I don't think they will be able to say it boldly outside because of where they work. Because they might lose their job if they actually go out to say it. Let's say someone working in Lagos State here, someone working in Oyo State civil service. Because you are being paid by that state government and they expect you to support the state government by voting for them. So if you actually come outside in the open to say, okay, I'm in support of, Showore or Kwakwanso or something, then that means your job is on the line. Or something like that. But I think Peter Obi so far so good is the only candidate that is speaking the people's language. Because where the people are looking at, where people are heading to, people don't want anyone who would just go there to share national cake. That's just it. They want someone who would go there and really serve the people's interest. We have the land, the vast land, expanse of land in the north that has been untapped for since 1999. Just open space, untapped. Then we go out there to import food. I don't think it even makes sense at all. Had it been for those years, like for the 16 years of the APC, then these 8 years of 16 years of PDP, then these 8 years of APC being added together, how much is that? 24 years. Had it been they've been investing in agriculture since then. We even saw they brought out, is it rice pyramid? A few months back. Where is the rice now? When a bag of rice is more than 40,000 naira. Yeah.
Like close to, like 50. It's 50 or 50.
I think it's just all due. Probably they bring out rice from other countries, then just take a picture. Because you can even hardly believe anything that any politician posts online.
No, I don't.
You can hardly believe. They will say it is recent one, by the time you start finding out, you notice probably 2017 or 2019 picture. Or even videos as well. I think it's just the only person. And also Showore. Showore is bringing in another different kind of approach. It's not really buying into the idea of let's just sit down there and eat the money. No. We need someone who would actually change the system. This system of elite versus masses. Whereby I was at the mosque yesterday, and the imam said something that everybody, all those people ruling Nigeria, they are not even up to 10,000. From the president to the House of Senate, House of Assembly, what's it called, the local government chairman, even to the commissioners and the ministers and the likes, they are not up to 10,000. And they are ruling, they are deciding the future of over 200 million people. Then that means we have the power. If we don't allow them to influence and induce us with how much? And I even think this forthcoming election, the set of people that will be the decider are the party agents and the presiding officers. If those two people, if you can't buy the party agent and you can't buy the presiding officer, then I think the election will be free and fair, regardless of anything the INEC does or something. If the presiding officer is up and doing and he refuses to be induced, the election will go well. But if anybody of them, of any of the probably main parties, if they want to rig the election, they buy either the party agent. Okay, let's just say I'm the party agent of ABC political party, and I want my party to win in that ward. Those big wigs like APC, PDP, they might come to me and say, guy, Alpha, see, this thing, I know you guys can win. There's no way you can win here. We have more people, but you see, we would compensate you. We'll give you 3 million. As at that point in time, the person will be thinking twice, like, 3 million for only me, just to look away. The person might be tempted to look away. So if you can't buy the party agent, they will try as much. If the party agent refuses, then they will try and buy the presiding officer. Because it's the presiding officer that would oversee that BVAS and the sending of the final results into the server, into the IRF. If they can buy either of these two people, then the election is gone. It's gone in the polling unit. I think this is where the main political, political bigwigs, this is where they would either win or lose the election, regardless of who the people vote for. Because if they can do it in Osun State, with this overvoting, if they can do it, then that means they can do it anywhere. And I also think, I heard something yesterday from someone who has experienced the BVAS voting and the likes. He said outside, when they actually announced the main result, these INEC presiding officers and the likes, they would go back into their office to go and impute the results there. It shouldn't be so. On that spot that you are announcing the result, impute it inside the system there, right in front of the people. They shouldn't be allowed to go back into any office. I think the people there should actually stand their ground. Either you win the polling unit or you lose that polling unit. Let them impute it into the system right in your presence. Let them impute it there, not even, okay, you going into any office. I think that's where the wuru would actually enter. And the next one, Nigerians are too intelligent to be suffering like this. It is evil, actress Omotola Jalade. The 44-year-old Nollywood actress Omotola Jalade Kehinde, who relocated to the United States of America in 2021, has lamented the level of suffering in Nigeria. She said, "We are too intelligent a people to suffer like this. Suffering is not lesson to brag about. It is evil. Why must people suffer to get anything done? I'm deeply frustrated at the depth and volume of the needless suffering Nigerians go through." Yeah, Nigerians have been suffering so far so good. I think that's why Nigerians run abroad.
Imagine like you used to like getting out of school and praying God for jobs. When jobs can be easily created by the government.
Yeah.
So are we not suffering? For scarcity, there is no like stable education,
banditry
and stuff like that, kidnapping. You can't go anywhere without fearing that, oh God, I don't want to be kidnapped.
Well, I just hope, I don't hope that the best candidate, I just hope the person who is ready to serve would win this February 25 election. And even if I support any candidate, I'm not supporting candidates based on the fact or thinking that the candidate has the capacity to win the election. No. I think people should look beyond that. Some people want to win. I don't know if there's any trophy being attached to presidency or something. Some people just have this kind of notion that I want my candidate to win. I want to support a candidate that can win election. No. We have seen candidates win election and they've done absolutely nothing. Buhari went to his home, to his state, Katsina State. and was actually, would I say, stoned in your own state.
Because he has not
In
done
your
anything so
own
far.
state. You see, people just have, I think we should start changing our mentality now. Some people say they can't support a candidate that cannot win. Is it a football competition? Even if it's a football competition, that's why even small teams have their staunch supporters, because they believe in their team. Not just because anybody can win or you perceive the person that, okay, this person can win, then you support the person. No. Look at them. It's not about winning. Because at the end of the day, either you support the candidate or you don't support the candidate. If the candidate emerges, then that's your president. I'm sorry. All right, the NRC shut down Abuja Kaduna train station. Barely a week after the Warri Itakpe train derailed into a forest in Kogi State, there has been yet another incident of a derailed Abuja Kaduna train. Flip TV reports that the Abuja Kaduna train service derailed at Kubwa on Friday afternoon, leaving many passengers stranded. One of the passengers, who identified herself as Mercy, said she boarded the train from the Rigasa station in Kaduna on Friday at about 1:30 p.m. but was surprised at the derailment of the train. I think people don't learn from past experience.
I thought.
This same train, Abuja Kaduna, where people were abducted, why would I want to go and board the train again there? People just don't learn. They just don't learn. See, your life is very important. Your life, you see, this life is just one. It has no duplicate. I don't know if any one of us has duplicate of their life at home, in any file or any safe.
Even as we are saying it again, if they should still repair the train or whatever happened to the
rail,
people will still enter the train again. They will still enter.
I don't think people learn. I don't think so.
It's not Nigeria.
I don't think so.
They will still enter the train again.
And there is now this frequent occurrence of train derailing. I think there are some set of people that wants to actually sabotage the efforts of the federal government by going there probably in the dead of the night to, cut off the rail track.
Maybe.
But even if the government are trying to work, there's a quote that leadership is followership. If the leader wants to work and the followers are not willing to, then there will surely be problem. If the leader and the follower are not on the same page, then there would be rift.
Problem, yeah.
There would be rift in between the two. So Buhari's administration has been trying to work on this rail track as well. We can applaud him as well for that. But if the people still go there in the dead of the night to, break all this railway track or something, then I think to some extent, probably anybody that has been caught in that kind of situation should face the full wrath of law.
Can they catch them?
There should be surveillance. That's what the NRC is about.
There's
Nigerian
no
Railway
surveillance
Corporation. There should be surveillance there. They are responsible for everything. There's no surveillance.
There is no surveillance
Of course.
Wow, what a country.
They should be responsible for everything that happens on the rail anywhere in Nigeria.
So how did they know the cause of what happened there?
Probably, the last one that happened, they saw the rail line there. It has already been shifted.
I don't think there is a surveillance there. They would have probably watched the footage and see what happened.
God bless you.
But there is no surveillance whatsoever.
There should be 24-hour surveillance there. There should be.
So, okay, let's say, God forbid, let's say for example now, people got abducted again. So, if there is no surveillance, how are they going to be able to identify?
Maybe they would write their name down before entering the train, so they'll be able to identify them from there. But honestly, to be sincere, there should be surveillance. You can't just say, okay, this is not like a road or something. It is rail. Nobody can just go to the road now and break the road or something. That one is not possible. But for a train like that, moving, the rail has to be 100% perfect. It has to be perfect. I think there is a surveillance system there. They would have alerted them, okay, this rail, okay, now you can do something, you can actually move. It is safe to move now. You should know how the rail track, how it is. You should know anytime any train wants to move. It is the duty of the NRC. So we can't just actually, see, no matter how you try to develop a place, there will be people that will try to sabotage your effort. But you would be the one to resist them. I think the NRC as well needs to up their game. They need to do more. Because, the Abuja Kaduna train abduction, the Warri Itakpe train derail, even this Kaduna Abuja derail again. If they're not doing their work, then they should be sacked and let them bring in new people to do their work there, bring in fresh ideas. Let us have surveillance systems. We should be able to locate all our rail track system from a particular control room. There's a particular control room in United Arab Emirates that not even one drop like this of crude oil can leave their country without their consent. Not one drop. The video is online.
But Nigeria, even barrels,
they are monitoring all their crude oil from just one control room. Now, rail track, we can't even monitor it.
Barrels of oil.
Below the earth surface. Just on the earth surface. We can't even monitor it. I think the NRC need to up their game or something. Something needs to be done quickly because we can't continue like this. PDP treading dangerous path. Makinde, PDP treading dangerous path. Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State has said that the People's Democratic Party is treading a dangerous path. Seyi Makinde was commenting on the rift between the G5 and the presidential candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, during an interview on Channels TV's Politics Today. Among other things, the 5 governors are demanding that the position of the national chairman of the party be moved to the southern part of the country in accordance with the party's constitution. Problems.
Upon problems.
In the PD. They are from the north. And they're telling them, if you want us to support you, let us have something to be able to campaign with. So since after the presidential primaries, Wike and Atiku has not been on the same page. And then Wike has been telling Atiku that according to the PDP constitution, the presidential candidate and the chairman cannot come from the same region. But now, both Atiku and they are from the north. And they're telling them, if you want us to support you, let us have something to be able to campaign with to our people. Let us have representatives. Remove Ayu. Let's tell Ayu to step down. You give this post to a southerner. So we're able to tell our people, okay, we have a southerner as the PDP chairman, then a northerner as the PDP presidential candidate. They will be able to vote for the PDP. So he's just telling, okay, he's like telling Atiku that he needs something to show to his people to convince them to vote. So now if he just tells his people like vote for PDP, they would have this kind of notion that, okay, are you automatically telling us that we should vote for the north again? Just like Buhari now is from the north. Now would you not go to them and say vote for Atiku again? Then your child you see from the north. So I think Wike to some extent is just telling Atiku to be fair on our side.
To do the right thing.
To do the right thing, be fair. Let equity and fairness, let it be there. Because you can't just let everything be on your path. But I think Atiku might be looking at something else, something bigger, that will give him the same amount of vote that the G5 governors have. Maybe we would want to, liaise with Buhari to be able to get his 12 million votes.
Will Buhari live in his own party and then go for Atiku? It's not possible.
That is just another thing.
It's not possible.
And then it's too close now. I don't think your child would be able to resign anymore. Because it's just less than 30 days to the election. About 28 days.
He's not going to resign. He's down.
And also, I think Atiku is just being, one leg in, one leg out. He's also a kind of wise person. Because he's thinking like, if he leaves this chairmanship position and gives it to the South, what if he doesn't emerge as the president? Then the southern part will now be in control of the PDP.
That means he didn't believe in him.
That means he's not really, he doesn't believe. It's not as if he doesn't believe in himself per se, but it's just...
Probably he doesn't believe in what... he hasn't done anything so far to warrant the presidency. I
think he's trying to be calculative. He believes in himself, fine. If he doesn't believe in himself, I don't think he will be going out there to actually campaign. But he's thinking on two ways, like, if I don't win there, I would actually win here. But if I lose this position to the South, I would have no other option than to win. I must win. So now it's just been, trying to have one leg in the PDP, then have one leg out to go and fight for the presidency. Because at times, even believing in yourself is not as if you should throw away all your options. You should still have something to hold on to. It's just like you trying to change from one place to the other. Okay, let's say you are climbing a tree now, then you want to jump from a branch to the other branch. If you leave the first branch, you will fall. Then you have to hold on to one branch first, then get to the other branch. Let's imagine that Atiku actually wins this election, this forthcoming election. Then Ayu might step down for the South. Then they'll feel like, okay, now we are the president, so let us be 50-50. It will now be a win-win situation. Because once Ayu steps down and a Southerner steps in, the South has won already. That will be 1-0 against the North, according to the PDP, according to the way they are thinking it through. So I just think I don't see Ayu stepping down, but I just feel like, to a very large extent, the G5 governors will be divided. They can't support the same candidate. Already. They are divided already. Because Autumn has endorsed Peter Obi, but Wike, Seyi Makinde, Okeze Ikpeazu, and what's it called? This other governor, they are yet to endorse anybody. Openly, they are yet to endorse anybody. So I think they'll be divided, but anybody who would get Buhari's 12 million votes, I think the person has the upper hand of winning this forthcoming election. Because Labour Party
Don't you think that's why this person is rest assured that he has, you don't feel like he is the president already?
Tinubu?
Yes.
Do you think Buhari would just throw out his 12 million votes to Tinubu like that? Because if you could remember vividly during the PDP presidential primaries, I don't think Northerners, they actually find a way to unite themselves, even beyond, across party lines.
So Tinubu will give his vote to Atiku?
No. Tinubu to Atiku.
I mean,
Buhari
will give his vote to Atiku.
They are both Northerners. I think so. From my personal opinion, I think so. That's what I think. So you can all drop your comment. If you are watching us right now, you can drop your comment. What do you feel? We've discussed so many topics so far, from why Tribunal sacked Osun Governor. What do you feel about the sacking? Is it actually appropriate? Is it inappropriate? Is it Adeleke's fault? I don't think it is his fault, because it's the shortcoming of the INEC. It's the INEC's fault. It's those presiding officers' fault. Why would you allow overvoting in the first instance? Why would you allow overvoting if you have not been induced? So I think the presiding officers should be brought to book. And also the NRC shutting down the Abuja-Kaduna train station. Also, there are APC and PDP supporters who prefer Peter Obi. Just likewise, there are APC supporters who prefer Atiku. There are Atiku supporters who prefer Tinubu as well. So I think it's cut across party lines. People would have different opinion and also different choice of presidential candidates. So we've come to the end of the program today. You can like, share, and subscribe to Flip TV for more updates and also amazing content. So you can join Christian Chukwu on the next program by Standards. Till we'll come your way again on Monday for another exciting edition of Lagos This Morning. I remain my humble self, Olajide Taufik Olamide.
And I remain Adeni Adiola. Bye for now.
Bye.
100 naira eko, 10 bus eko.